So we just looked at the 10.0.5 notes. We have an idea of the PTR data mining, which is always subject to change. We don't know if that's even going to happen. Some of that stuff was absolutely fried. But we did also just see the class tuning coming January 10th, so let's look at that. Let's see what's going on. Okay? Here we go. My man Kaivac says, with scheduled weekly maintenance next week, a number of specializations will receive throughput increases to several spells targeted at improving their performance in Raid Mythic Plus. Who cares? It's our intent these changes will help make these specializations viable options for raid and dungeon content. Everybody's viable for dungeons, bro. It's a dungeon. What's going on here? But all these changes do affect PvP, though, unless they say otherwise, so. Some of them do not apply to PvP combat, which is cool. I already looked just and saw that just now. But let's see. Demon Hunter, the hunt damage over time effect no longer deals an additional tick on application. Damage dealt over the total duration remains unchanged. You just don't get hit and ticked at the same time. Okay. Vengeance, who cares? They're just nerfs. Feral, all ability damage increased by 3%. We were seeing that on PTR already. So, once again, Ferals are doing about 60k steady DPS in Arena to, like, 3 targets. You know? Just killing everything all at the same time. 3% more damage on top of that, you know? Why not? Why not? Do it. Devastation, Fire Breath, damage got increased, but doesn't apply to PvP. Lay Waste increases Deep Breath damage by 15 and 30%, where it was 10 to 20% before, so that's a buff. Eternity Surge damage increased by 10%. Firestorm damage increased by 20%. So some of this stuff that we're seeing right now are things that were data mined in the PTR. This is just representing the change that will be there before, so. These are already in the game. These are already in the game. We already saw the Feral buffs and stuff like that. We already saw some of these Devastation buffs. We already saw this Eye of Infinity increasing, or generating Essence on critical strikes. It was 1, now it's 2. We already saw their crit increase damage. We already saw their Iridescence damage bonus. So Devastation Evokers are going to one-shot you. You're dead. I don't know if you fought a good Devastation Evoker yet. You're toast. That's really scary. Okay. PvP changes are below Shadow Priest nerfed hard. It'll still be good even if it gets nerfed is the thing. But yes, that needs to happen. That needs to happen. So Hunter, Survival, all ability damage has been increased. Butchery and Carve damage increased. Fear of the Eagle increased. And Wildfire Bomb damage increased. I haven't really fought that many Survivals in 2s, or sorry, in 3s, but in 2s they're definitely annoying. That's gonna be scary. Fire, Flame Strike, Living Bomb damage increased by a ton. Frostbolt damage increased by 20%. Ray of Frost damage increased by 40%. And Glacial Spike damage increased by 10%. I mean, are there some PvP adjustments on that? Like, defense stance does 15%? No, it's going to be 15% damage reduced that you do. So instead of 20% less damage that you do, it's going to be 15. You're still only going to reduce 10% damage, though. So, like, I don't know what the point is. You never use that ability anyway. Like, they got it wrong. They got it wrong. Simple as that, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I've been hit by like a 260k Glacial Spike in Arena before, so that's gonna be, I didn't die to it, thank God, but, I mean, I was like full health. I was like, oh, I am nearly dead. Okay. Good to know. Anyway, Brewmaster Monk, who cares? Mistweaver, we've seen all this stuff, right? All healing is increased by 5%. Vivify, an additional 5. Blackout Kick, an additional 6. Rising Sun Kick, an additional 8. Tiger Palm is 15%, so this is all just damage. There's also healing if they play the build. Then Spinning Crane Kick damage. So they increased all their healing and Vivify, and then all their increased damage there. And Phaeline now transfers 70% of Spinning Crane Kick's damage into healing, which was 60%. So this year's just got just big buffs. Shez, thanks for 2 full years, man. Appreciate it, dude. Thank you, thank you. Mods, you guys can link him the thing. This is on the forums. They probably tweeted it too. We'll see. All right, here we go. Holy shit! Oh my goodness! They're buffing Ret damage. Holy shit! Now Rets are not that good. Rets are not that good, but it's defensively weak. They are defensively weak. But they're buffing the Shield of Vengeance cooldown by a lot, so that's cool. But yeah, have you guys ever gotten hit by Final Reckoning? So Crusader Strike is increased by 40%. 40%. Blade of Justice increased by 25%. Final Reckoning is increased by 15%. Yeah, that thing hits for like 200k. Yeah. Yeah, they don't need, their defensive is just kill everything. So so some of Retribution's main rotational abilities do not feel as good at press as we'd like, so we're making them, do more damage. Additionally, their survivability isn't what we'd like, so we're making some improvements to their defensive kit as well, looking at Ret as a whole, and we'll have more to share in the future. Okay, good. Good. Because Ret's not doing too hot, so they're buffing that up. Cool. So they're buffing a Holy Priest damage. So Shadow. Focused Will provides 10% damage reduction from 15%. But Mind Blast damage is increased by 15%. Mind Flay damage is increased 15%. Mind Spike damage. Where are these nerfs you're talking about? Do I have to scroll down a little further? Because all I'm seeing is buffs. These changes are aimed at improving Shadow's single target DPS. The change to Focus Will is targeted at a change for PvP to reduce Shadow Priest survivability. That's good. They need to take a little more damage. Okay. That's fine. We'll get there. This is good, though. This is good. Shadow Priests do not need to be as tanky. Outlaw Rogues. Blade Flurry. That is doing too much damage, so they're reducing the output a little bit. And we'll see how it goes. Affliction is just every ability that they have is getting buffed. But Unstable Affliction Backlash damage is no longer increased from increased damage dealt modifiers or effects that increase Unstable Affliction's damage. That's good, because like Unstable Affliction dispels were hitting way hard. But all the rest of their damage is getting increased. Destruction damage, everything is getting increased, except for the Conflag. Immolate and Incinerate buffs don't apply to PvP. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Player versus player, boys. Soul Rending Leech bonus reduced by 40% in PvP. We saw that on the PTR notes. We saw the Glimpse thing reduced on the PTR notes. Essence Breaks bonus. But the thing about it is that we know those PTR things weren't just like maybe, you know, like they're actually in. So Essence Breaks damage bonus for Chaos Strike and Blade Dance reduced by 37.5 in PvP. And Soul Rend damage reduced by 16.7 in PvP. We saw that, so. We have noticed Havoc Demon Hunters overperforming in several facets of PvP, including personal survivability, burst damage, and overall DPS. We're taking action to reduce their effectiveness in these areas while still aiming to keep them competitive. Oh, they'll be competitive. The thing is, like, with Demon Hunter, and no DK nerfs, by the way, again. You see that? No DK nerfs at all. These classes have such an absurd kit that the fact that they were, like, grossly overtuned still matters, but when they get tuned down, I think they're still going to be insane. You know what I mean? They're still going to be insane. So, Preservation. Energy Loop's mana regeneration reduced by 25%. So, Energy Loop's mana restoration has been overperforming compared to its contribution in PvE due to endgame-wide reduced mana regeneration within PvP instances. We're adjusting this to bring it in line with expected benefits, but still want this effect to remain a powerful option as we feel it can lead to compelling decision-making with Essence resources. Okay. Alright. So Arcane Mage's Siphon Storm's effectiveness reduced by 50%. I don't even know what that does. So Siphon Storm has been a culprit for one-shot scenarios, so we're adjusting its effectiveness down heavily. Yeah, that's pretty big. Glacial Spike. Reduced Glacial Spike's damage increase from Mastery Icicles by 25%. This will be reflected in the tooltip. Okay. Our goal is that this change to Glacial Spike's Mastery scaling will preserve it as an option for Frost Mages, but temper the effectiveness of Mastery stacking ahead of the spell. Okay. So you can still just run around in Ice Lance and it's just as good, right? DK Buddy said DKs die like wet noodles. Yeah, to what? Dude, DKs are immortal tanks. That guy's just not playing it right, dude. He's just, I don't know. Listen, like, this is a perfect example. I had somebody in my workout stream today come in and be like, dude, Fury Warriors are OP. I'm like, yeah? Like, first of all, they're not. What do you play? He's like, well, I'm a 390 eye level Demon Hunter, so I'm struggling against Fury Warriors. It's like, dog, you don't even have full honor gear. You've never played the game before. You're probably going to struggle against everything, okay? Like, a fully geared warrior, fully geared Fury Warrior is going to walk over to you, Stormbolt you, and one-shot you. because you have no gear and you didn't press Trinket Blur or anything. Like, that's not a Fury Warrior problem, bro. That's user error. And so, like, you run into situations like that, where it's like, your DK buddy's like, bro, I'm in quest greens, and this guy one-shotted me. DK's just flopped, dude. I'm paper thin. It's like, brother, you are not. You just need to, like, play the class and get some gear. You know what I mean? Like, this is the stuff. And these are, like, people who write forum posts. You know what I mean? So you got to be aware of that kind of thing. Anyway, DKs are broken. So, that's how it is. Happens to me too. Like, I gotta sometimes learn how to play against stuff, but after a while, you're like, you know what? I've been playing this for a while. I feel like I got a pretty good grasp on things. This class is busted. You know, like, that's okay. Interesting. Why are monks getting buffed? Uh-oh. Nathan, thanks so much, man. Big flex for the 19 months, dude. Appreciate it, man. Huge Windwalker nerfs. Dude, Windwalkers do not need more damage. Let me tell you that right now. Blackout Kick, it was a 15% increased damage. Now it's 30. And Tiger Palms, those are relatively small hits, usually, but can't Blackout Kick, like, multi-proc? Thanks so much for the Prime, man. Big flex for you. That's crazy. So, Mistweaver, Rising Sun Kick now deals a little bit less damage. So we're looking to offset the incoming PvE buffs of Rising Sun Kick, as we think it currently hits too hard to be effective for Mistweaver in PvP. Oh, baby. Thunder Fist damage reduced by 40% in PvP combat. Sky Reach increases critical strike chance by 30% from 50%. And they buff Fist of Fury damage, huh? Interesting. So Windwalker's Burst has continued to be above a level we're comfortable with, yeah. We're targeting Thunder Fist and Sky Reach. They've been large contributors to this. We're also increasing their sustained damage as we feel there is room for that to improve if their burst is reduced. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, enhancement, nothing. Yeah. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? RP Windwalker? Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know. Thunder Fist is pretty broken. They're nerfing that a little bit and increasing Fist of Fury damage. I mean, Fist of Fury hits pretty hard, so... Ellie, nothing. Ellie's strong. That's kind of scary. Ellie's kind of, like, scooting under that Shadow Priest lock barrier. It's really strong, though. They're just scooting. They're scooting under there. So, for Priest, Flash healing is increased by 30% in PvP. Was 20%. So, just Flash heal buffs in general. Holy heal is being increased by a bunch. Serenity healing is increased by a bunch. So, Holy received PvP reductions in casted healing effectiveness in previous patches that we now feel are unnecessary and are reverting. Huh. Can you guys think of any other classes that got a bunch of nerfs over the course of expansions that are no longer necessary? Hey, can you guys think of any class that might have that? Maybe, like, defensively? Interesting. Hey, can you think of any other class that had, like, all of its good abilities just given other classes? Like utility and defensives? Like every other class has what this class has, but doesn't have anymore? Huh. Anyway, whatever. Well, I guess we'll just keep reading and see if it comes to our mind again. Anyway. Oh, baby! Here we go! Shadow Word Death has been reduced by 30% in PvP for Shadow. It was 20. Mind Blast damage reduced by 25% in PvP for Shadow. Mind Spike damage reduced by 25% in PvP. Remember, guys. Remember, Shadow Priest probably had all its damage buffed by like a solid 50% over the past 2 patches. So let's not get too excited here. Devouring Plague damage reduced by 25% in PvP combat. Vampiric Touch damage reduced by 5% in PvP combat. Was increased by 10%. So that's pretty big. But yeah, so remember that the Shadow Priests are getting they are getting their damage buffed again, right? In 10.0.5 at least. But yeah, their damage was buffed by like they got buffed like twice. So there's definitely some nerfs taking place, but let's see how it feels, right? The proc rate of Shadowy Insight has been reduced by 25%. The proc rate of Surge Darkness has been reduced by 25%. Shadow Priests have been widely overperforming. So we are looking to offset recent PvE buffs to them and reduce their power defensively through changes Focus Will. We're also reducing their instant proc damage availability, as we feel like Shadow Priests do not have to hard cast spells as often as we'd like them to. Yeah. They just run around, instant cast, one-shotting everybody. Or standing still and doing the same thing. So I still think that Shadow Priest's kit is going to be good enough to make them be effective, but they're taking more damage and dealing less damage instantly, which is good. I think we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Love the Garrote nerf. Oh, who's gonna tell him? Who's gonna tell him? Who's gonna tell him about the 10.0.5 AoE, Piercing Howl, Warbreaker, Sharpened Blade on a 25-second cooldown with 2 charges? Who's gonna tell him? Who's gonna tell him? Oh my god. Who's gonna tell him that assassination rogues are gonna get that in 10.0.5 potentially? Sorry, bro. But yeah, Shadow Priests are getting nerfed by like 25 to 30% on a lot of their abilities, which is about dang time. And they're gonna be taking like, you know, they're gonna be getting a little bit more, or a little bit reduced damage reduction. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, Assassination, Garrote. So this isn't just Garrote, this is Garrote's, improved Garrote damage bonus has been reduced by 40%. And Iron Wire, what is Iron Wire's damage reduction debuff? Now has a PvP duration of 4 seconds, which was, the base was 8 seconds before. Interesting. And Solomon, thanks so much, man. Big flex for you for the 7 months, dude. Thank you, man. Demo dead? Oh, let's have a look at this. Let's have a little look-see at the Demo nerfs. God damn! Oh, holy shit. Let me read this. Assassination spread and single target Garrote pressure has been very high. Yeah, that's why we decided to nerf Rend. We're targeting this by decreasing the effectiveness of Rend. It's like, wait, what? Wait, why? It's like, assassination damage has been pretty busted, so we decided to nerf Warriors. It's like, okay, that makes sense, yeah. Gotcha. Anyway, what is Iron Wire anyway? Iron Wire's damage reduction effect has also felt too potent to us at preventing enemy pressure. Yeah, gotcha. You feel like Diamond Sword needs CD reduction? It does. Okay, so here we go. Demonology. Demonic Strength unleashes a Fellstorm that deals 150% increased damage in PvP. It was 400. It was 400% increased damage before. Dog, like, it's always been a joke for a warrior. Like, at someday I wish to be as effective as a freaking Demonology Warlock pet. Yeah. Someday. Maybe. The thing one-shots people with Blade Storm and Mortal Strikes. Just by attacking, like. And has 2 stuns! There's 2 of them, they have 2 stuns! It's literally a warrior. You just control a little warrior running around Mortal Striking and AoEing. You have 2 of them, so you just axe toss somebody. But you can't even see the axe coming most of the time. Stormbolt's like, hey, by the power of Thor, giant electrified hammer. Like the slowest projectile in the game. Just shadow mode that bad boy. Gurker, thanks so much, man. Big flex for you. Appreciate it, man. No, I'm not talking about the class itself. I'm talking about literally the pet. No, they do. They have two stuns. They have Death Coil. They have Spammable Fear. They have AoE stun. Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. But Demon Fire damage is increased by Demon Fire damage increased by 75%. They're doubling the damage of it. And then Dreadbite damage reduced by 10% in PvP combat. What the? We feel Demonic Strength can be a difficult spell to notice and has little counterplay compared to Demonic Tyrant and its associated Demon Fire casts. So is Demon Fire what Tyrant does? We're looking to adjust Demonology's burst sources while aiming to keep them at the same relative power. Why do you want to keep them at the same relative power? They're busted. Nerf their defensive. Make them not Soul Leech for the same amount of healing as their healer does. We also want to slightly reduce Demonology's overall pressure by targeting Dreadbite. So they're just letting this bad boy just be as tanky as it is, while it also has infinite CC, completely passive damage, and self-healing? Is that what we're doing? Cool. Good to know. So here's for Warriors. I looked at this and I was like, oh, nice! And then I actually read it. I was like, defensive stance now reduces damage done by 15%, was 20%, So defensive stance continues to provide absolutely 0 defensive layer, but your damage is just a little bit more when you're in there. Okie dokie. You don't use defensive stance any other time than when you're about to get kidney shotted anyway. I don't know, man. They're like, we really feel like Warriors were struggling on damage, so we decided to go ahead and buff defensive stance's damage output. That's not what we needed, guys. If you're gonna make the stance 15%, just do it 15-15, not 15-10, or give us the 20% damage reduction. It is still a buff. It is still a buff, but D-stance is only 10%, right? Yeah. No, Garthar, we just looked at it, 10.0.5. Yeah, we already looked at that. Ignore Pain is coming back? Yeah, and how, in like, what, 3 weeks? I don't have 3 weeks, man. I'm already depressed every day playing Warrior. No, like, legit. Like, how long do I have to wait for this? I can't wait 3 weeks. To be fair, the Shadow Priest nerfs will be nice. They're pretty happy with how Demo Lock is, and they're pretty happy with how DH is, or sorry, DK. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Holy crap. But yeah, D-stance, so you're gonna be able to deal a little bit more damage in D-stance. But, like, is that the intended way for them, for us to play Warrior? Do they want us just sitting in D-stance like a little potato, dealing no damage and still dying to everything? Red didn't get ignored. No, Red got their final Reckoning buffed. And they're getting a 30-second reduced cooldown on their shield. And that's kind of nice. That's kind of nice. And they still want to do more. We're looking at Retribution as a whole. I'll have more to share in the future. I know, they don't want it to affect Warrior offensively. It's like, oh, we know Warriors are really struggling offensively. They have this idea that Warriors are, like, not dealing damage or something. That's actually the one thing that we are doing, is we actually are doing half-decent damage when we have uptime, which is variable. But no, Warriors are doing half-decent damage. Like, that's like where we're at. And they keep buffing damage, which is like, sure, keep doing that, no problem. But, like, is that the idea? We just sit in D-stance and deal 15% less damage, but just kind of, like, just ride it out? Do it, like, taking 10% less? Just ride it out? Because, I mean, if you want to think of it this way, it's technically like a 5% damage buff if you want to sit in D-stance all game. Like, you just sit in D-stance and then come out to do your burst? I don't think so. The thing is, Warriors are, like, paper thin anyway, so, like, taking 10% less damage isn't really good. You just die anyway. And your best bet is to put out pressure, which you don't do if you're in D-stance, even if it's 15% instead of 20. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying, Zamir. I think I did that for a little while. I was like, okay, I'm going to spend a lot more time in D-stance, and we're going to come out and burst, and I don't think it makes a difference. Oh, yeah, you also lose the 3% crit thing, too. Yeah. You're going to die more slowly. I think it just makes you less of a threat. You will still die. You will 100% still die. You just will do less damage. You'll just fall behind more quickly, I think. Right? So, they should have just plopped Ignore Pain right in our talent, right in our ability book. 10.0.5, there's Ignore Pain on the talent tree, but you have to choose between that and Stormwall. What about Fury? Fury got buffed? Where? Where did Fury get buffed? Where? I mean, that's like Fury has D-stance too, technically. No, Storm Wall. Not between that and Storm Bolt. Storm Wall, the one where you parry and you heal off of that. But there is no way we have to be making decisions about our defensive toolkit right now. That's what I'm saying. There's no way we should have to make any decisions. We shouldn't be like, well, we could do this defensive thing, we could do this one. It's like, no, we have no defenses. You need to take our kit and add to it, not be like, ooh, maybe this or that. Ain't no way. Maybe Ignore Pain, but only using a shield? No. We never use shields. No way. You don't, no. Weapon swaps are terrible. No. No, you don't play like that in Modern WoW anymore. You haven't been putting a shield on since like, what, since like MoP? Did you ever use a shield in MoP? I don't think, you don't use a shield ever. No. Kata maybe? Yeah, no. Ignore Pain just needs to be plopped into our ability book, like Feint. Did you guys see that on 10.0.5 PTR? Rogues don't have to talent for Feint anymore, it's just in their book. Like, do that for Warrior. Just plop it right in our spell book. We shouldn't have to choose between that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. 45 seconds? No. We don't want 45 second CD. We want that 11-second CD. Affected by haste. Yeah. That's what we want. Do you think... No, I think Stormwall is definitely worse than Ignore Pain. Yeah, Ignore Pain is way better. Ignore Pain is way better than Storm Wall, but why do we have to choose? Like, why still slap us in the face like that, right? Yeah. What's up, Piff? Yeah. Yeah, why should we even have to choose? It's like you're out in the cold. You know? You're out in the cold, sleeping on the street, and they're like, hey, do you want this heater or a blanket? And it's like, I have nothing. Can I have both? Can I have a little blanket and a heater just to try to survive the cold? They're like, one or the other. The heater, it might be better. But maybe the blanket's all right too, but like you have to choose one. It's like, okay, I guess I'll take the heater. I guess. It's like, all right, cool, nice. Your back's gonna be really cold. But, you know. It's like, I can't have both? Like neither of them are gonna really do very much against this cold. Maybe if I had both, it'd be kind of nice. It's like, nope, one or the other. Blanket won't keep you warm enough. Heater is useless without the blanket. That's arms wear. Yeah. Holy moly. But we don't want the D-stance to affect your damage. It's like, You can safely drop anger management now? No, I want anger management. Are you kidding me? No, we want anger management for sure, especially with Ignore Pain. Bring the heater to my cardboard for it, yeah. It's crazy. Anyway, those are the class tuning things. To me, it seems like Shadow Priest, this could affect them. I think that Shadow Priest's kit is still gonna be insane though. Demo Lock is unchanged, continues to be S+. Demon Hunter, their kit is absolutely wild. Them having less leech, I don't think really changes much. I think they're still S+. So DK, there is no mention of DK. How is this possible? How is this possible? Yeah, no changes to LE either. Like, there's nothing on the 10.0.5 PTR notes about DK. There's nothing on the PvP changes about DK. Like, are we just gonna pretend like these guys aren't, like, broken? Are we just gonna pretend that they have 6 different types of range CC? 6 different defensive layers of healing and damage reduction? And CC immunity? I have to calm down?
Yeah, you're acting like crazy, like to come over and calm.
I'm acting like crazy. You have to come over and call me? Thank you. Archer, do you think that DKs should be nerfed to the ground?
What? You just say it. Why do you say it like guys?
Do you think that warriors, the strongest and most handsome and most powerful and most Buzz Lightyear class of all, should be buffed and be very strong? I love you too, baby boy. Archer's just here to calm me down a little bit. Yep. He's fine. He's fine. He's fine. Yeah, warrior is the most Buzz Lightyear class of all. Trying to tell me to calm down a little bit. Ignore Pain is on the 10.0.5. But yeah, anyway. Archer's here to calm me down a little bit. I don't think this changes the meta very much, to be honest. The January 10th changes, I don't think really make a difference at all. The avatar thing, it's potentially, it's in the 10.0.5 notes, so it's not even really a sure thing. We'll just see. But yeah, I don't think this changes the meta very much. Shadow Priest being a little bit squishier will be nice though, because when you fight Demonology Warlock and Shadow Priest every single game, maybe the Shadow Priest can actually perish. Maybe when you fight DK every single game, maybe the DH is a little bit more of a liability defensively. Probably not though. Arms hasn't really changed much from Shadowlands. They got worse. You are a very nice baby boy. Avatar thing is definitely a prot only thing. Yeah, that's what it seems like. We'll see. But yeah, it was so surprising. Like, you look at the warrior talent tree and you're like, oh my gosh, we're getting so much cool stuff. And then it's like you show up to school, like the first day of school, and like your favorite new shirt. You're like, look at my new shirt, guys. It's like a Dragon Ball Z shirt. It's super cool. And then all the other kids at school, like, literally have like robot assistants following them around. and they have like their own spaceships, and you just have like a new shirt, and you're like, oh, I'm a little bit outclassed here, aren't I?
Daddy, can you put that on your computer?
Can I put what on my computer?
That was actually a...
A mushroom guy?
That's actually a key.
It is. It's like a little keycap. I got that from Maple Story. Maybe we should just play Maple Story now until they buff warriors. What do you think? No! Oh, Daddy! That's so silly! We're not doing that. Maple Story is fun, though.
You wanna play with this?
Alright, guys. Maple Story is fun. I'm not talking smack on Maple Story. Daddy's just being silly. The blue notes, yeah, they affect PvP unless it doesn't, specifically.
What is it?
Oh, let's go play with that, mammy.
Got him a toy Roomba.
Oh, nice. No, we like Maple Story. We had a lot of fun playing it. We're just being silly. We're gonna keep working on our WoW, dude. We're gonna keep grinding our warrior. Anyway, cool PvP notes. I don't think it's gonna change all that much, but we'll hold out for 10.0.5. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll just camp D-stance. Probably not. Anyway, that's the January 10th stuff coming up. Somehow DKs are still just like sliding through, man. I don't know. We'll see. A small change. They're making changes frequently. They didn't make any changes because they were on break, but if they keep making adjustments like, you know, week by week, then maybe we'll eventually kind of get to a place where the classes that are at the top aren't so far above the top that it just like is really unpleasant to play. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. See how it goes. But all right, guys, let's maybe actually play a little bit today before the evening stream. Good stuff.